So best performing ETF of 2020 is down 6% yesterday, and from all-time highs it's down 20%. Should I buy? Should I sell? Let's talk about it. Hello, my name is Murat, and on this channel we're talking about stocks. Today's topic is 10 ETFs, the best performing ETF of 2020, but recently it took some hit and currently it trades at around minus 20% from all-time high. So on this chart, as you can see, it's been going down quite significantly, and right now it's around $97, while the 52 weeks high is 126 almost. I personally bought this dip because I believe in a bright future for solar energy, and I can explain you why. So right here it's a report done by International Energy Agency about energy outlook in 2020, and if you scroll down through the report, you can see in the part where they're talking about solar, they just go in bold saying that solar become new king of energy, of electricity. The main takeaway from this report is highlighted here. With a sharp of cost reduction over the past decade, solar PV is consistently cheaper than new coal and gasified power plants in most countries. So yes, it's official. Solar electricity now it's even cheaper than coal electricity. And if somebody used to argue that renewables are just too expensive and this is why we should still rely on coal or any other fossil fuels, you can just show them this report and say, hey man, no more. It's now officially the cheapest source. Also, if you believe that Elon Musk is a smart guy, here's what he has to say about it.
If you wanted to power the entire United States with solar panels, it would take a fairly small corner of Nevada, Texas, Utah, anywhere. Look, you only need about 100 miles by 100 miles of solar panels to power the entire United States. And then the batteries you need to store that energy to make sure you have 24/7 power is 1 mile by 1 mile. One square mile. That's it.
We just heard from Elon Musk that we need to capture a tiny fraction of whole energy that coming from the sun on the surface of Earth to fulfill our consumption rate. Another reason to believe in a bright future for solar energy is Joe Biden in office. He's planning to spend record-breaking investment into renewables to transition the US economy towards renewable energy. And even without him being in office, as you can see from another report done by International Energy Agency, that rate at which solar is growing, it's steadily increasing. And for the next couple of years, it's expected to be around 40%. And the bolder prediction is closer to 45%. But with this record-breaking investment, it could go even higher than that. And even if it's going to stay at around 30%, it's still huge, because what else is growing at around 30% pace? What industry? Further down in this report, you can see the projection until 2025 about installation of new energy capacity. And as you can see, in 2020, solar and wind, it's sitting relatively low on this chart, but by 2025 it's projected to be number one in terms of newly built facilities for the energy generation. And also something that a lot of people missing, that energy demand is going to just grow and grow steadily, because population is growing and our demand on electricity is going to grow with transition to renewables, because electric vehicles need to be charged and all other sectors of economy will shift towards electricity. Here's another interesting chart that shows worldwide consumption of electricity in general. And as you can see, from 1990, it's 2.5 times more than it used to be. And this is like reasonably short period of time, in just 30 years. So you can only imagine what's going to happen when we transition to EVs and all our production lines will be run by renewables. So demand for electricity will just skyrocket. When countries get more developed, they consume more electricity per capita. This is actually very interesting charts. So I'll leave the link down below because you can play around, choose plenty of stuff here. So I'm just highlighting the main points. So as you can see, again, in these last 30 years, consumption per capita increased dramatically. It's almost doubled as well, and it's only going upward. So, and the last chart that I want to talk about from this website is percentage of EV that is increasing fastest among renewable energy sources. As you can see, hydro used to dominate, and it's still dominating right now, this landscape of renewable energy, but you only have so many rivers in the world. As you can see, wind was actually picking up way earlier compared to solar, and this is due to cost, because right now cost for solar is decreasing so sharp that it's cheaper than anything else, as we discussed before. And this transition to renewables, that many governments set a deadline by 2050, 2060, that they should be carbon neutral. So it means that in the next 5 years, definitely solar gonna be #1 in the renewable sector. Also, I wanted to show you some interesting data about TEN ETF. As you can see on this official website, some people may argue that price is still too high at these levels, like 97, 100, something like this. And I agree in general, because price to earning ratio is sitting very high at around 100 right now. But what's interesting is that forward PE ratio, which is PE in 12 months, is already 53. And this is not too far away from what S&P 500 is doing right now. It's sitting at around 34 as far as I remember. But what's even more interesting from my perspective is that price to book ratio is just 2. And this is actually lower than S&P 500. S&P 500 is sitting close to 4 right now. So the balance sheet of these companies looking pretty good if the price to book ratio is just 2. So that was my analysis of TEN ETF right now with a price at around 100. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And remember that you should do your own due diligence before investing money. And this is just my opinion and not financial advice by any means. See you in the next one.